Hello there, kids. Welcome. It is a Wednesday night. It is time for the first Frost. What is it? Did you take in your delicate plants?
I did. Yes.
Podcast of 2016.
Yes.
We're live. Here
We did not.
No, my stupid. I left my parsley out.
Right.
I left my sage out.
Gabagool, the
I left
gudegin?
out my rosemary, but I had the thyme inside, though.
Okay,
And
all
the
right.
weed, so that's
All
all
right.
safe.
All right, I got you.
As we are underway
Oh, that got an applause.
live at CSE Philadelphia Comedy Sports on a Wednesday night. Very cold. Finally wintertime here on the
Yes,
East Coast,
finally. Yeah.
here in the city of Philadelphia. It's Tony Bruno. Miss Robin is here. She's got her a soggy dollar bar shirt on.
Yes.
I do. I'm representing.
We're
Yes,
talking
and
about that a couple weeks
We
ago.
have painkillers.
Yes.
We have a
not
patch
Advils or ibuprofen.
No, we have painkillers. Not
Alcoholic.
those kind of painkillers.
Right.
You know the ones.
Right.
Joe Corrado's here. Luigi's up in the God Mike booth. Natalie is here. And we got a couple great guests coming up on the show tonight as well. In fact, I just saw him walk in. Todd Glass is going to join us in a second. A great comedian, local guy, international superstar. He's going to come by. Just got a text from Brian Baldinger, of course, who works at NFL Network, who did some amazing stuff on TV. We showed the video. Did you see the clip?
Yes, I
Brian
saw it before we
Baldinger,
came in.
just a couple of months ago, had a major
He's a physical
knee-
specimen.
He had a major knee procedure. He had like fluid on his knee.
I remember him calling
No, it
us
was
at
like
the
it was
old
like even
podcast.
more. It was not MRSA, but something like that.
He had, he had an infection in his knee, and it blew up, and they were worried. And, you know, whenever you hear about staph infections,
Yes.
any kind of surgery where there's infection in there,
Right.
you worry. And so last time I talked to Baldy, he was on the podcast.
And he's an active guy. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
it would
he's
have got him
runs
down
back
for a
and
while.
forth. He's in L.A. every
Yeah.
week. He's back and forth. The guy's nonstop.
Right.
So I texted him the other day. I said, Baldy, why don't you come on the podcast? Because I knew he was back in town. And I just texted him, you coming by? He said, yeah, I'm having dinner. His phone is blowing up because the Bob McAdoo.
Yes.
Ben McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo, right.
Not Andrew Gaze,
Yes.
Adam Gaze, because everything goes back to basketball
Right,
around
right,
here.
right.
But,
Or Rudy Gaze.
Ben
That's Rudy
McAdoo now, the hot name on this Wednesday as we are live here on Mixler and, of course, listening on iTunes later on. And, of course, our great man, Nathaniel Dotson, videoing the whole proceedings tonight, which you'll see on YouTube later on the weekend. And so a lot of stuff going on, the NFL Coaching Carousel, the NFL to Los Angeles. And then I told you last week on this show, Stan Kroenke, remember I talked about
Yes.
St. Louis? And he was going to take that team. He was going to be a guaranteed lock to be one of the teams that moves to Los Angeles. So Nick Foles, the next time he makes the Pro Bowl and says, is everybody out there?
Yeah.
How you doing out there?
Right. He'll be 3 hours behind everybody
Exactly.
else.
So the St. Louis Rams, and now people are upset for saying, listen, I don't like to see cities lose teams. But remember, the Rams were in Los Angeles for 49 years, okay, until Georgia Frontiere, whose husband drowned mysteriously on the beach, who owned the Rams. You remember back in the day?
I don't remember that.
This is the
story.
90s. Yes, Rosenblum, her husband, was the owner of the Rams. He died drowning on the beach somehow in Santa
California?
Monica Bay.
Wow.
She
Wow.
takes over the team as the wife, Georgia Frontiere, Rosenblum.
Right.
And she decides, hey, I'm playing in the L.A. Coliseum. It's a dump.
Right.
I need a new stadium. So St. Louis, which lost the Cardinals, when the Cardinals left St. Louis and went to Arizona, they didn't have an NFL franchise. They told Georgia Frontiere, we'll build you a dome.
Right.
You move the Rams from Los Angeles to St. Louis. That was 1995. The Rams were moved to St. Louis in 1995. Fast forward 21 years later, Stan Kroenke, who's the owner of the Rams now, doesn't like the stadium deal he has. It's an okay stadium, but it's, it's 20 years old, so they're obsolete. Every stadium now has to be redone every 20 years.
Every year.
So what do
or
they
less.
do? He says, hey, he goes to St. Louis, says, I can't play in this stadium. They then say to him, all right, we're going to build you a new stadium. And they show him the proposal.
Right.
He says, nope. And I even read you the report last week.
Yes.
Even the commission, when the commissioner of the NFL says, you know what, he's right, Stan Kroenke's right. The stadium proposal in St. Louis is not feasible. No one can make money buying a team there and moving it, keeping it in St. Louis, or if Stan Kroenke stayed there. So he goes up and says, I'll put $550 million of my own money to move the team to Los Angeles.
$500 million.
The other owner said, yes.
Right.
You're going to write us a check for $550?
Right.
We're going to build a new $1 billion stadium. It's going to be in L.A., the second largest media market in the world, which hasn't had a football team in 20 years, 21 years. Let's do it. Now the other question is what happens to the Chargers?
Yeah,
what happens to the
exactly.
Raiders? The Raiders are probably going to stay. Although
They're
they
gonna
may
stay
move
there.
to San Antonio
Really?
because their deal is up at the Coliseum in Oakland.
Right.
They can do a new deal with the Coliseum, which they don't want to do because it's not a good facility. Or San Antonio, which has the Alamo Dome, which isn't really an NFL facility either. It could work. But apparently the owner, Al Davis's son, Mark
What have your
Davis.
Raider connections told you? Because I know
Mark
you-
Davis, the owner of the Raiders.
the one
You
to
seen
tell
him?
you that?
No, Mark Davis
He
told
needs
me
to
that.
change that freaking
Have you seen
hairstyle.
Mark Davis's hair? He's got the straight bowl cut.
Yes.
It's a
He's bringing it
Caesar.
back. Yeah,
I think
he's-
it's the Caesar cut.
Yes.
It is a Caesar
It's
cut.
just awful.
So Mark Davis
And Howdy
quietly-
Doody. It's like a combination.
Quietly, Mark
He's
Davis
Howdy
bought
Doody.
land in and around Austin, Texas, and San Antonio, Texas.
Uh-huh.
So he's got land to have the
Lots of
stadium
land.
built for him
Right.
in Texas, which already has Houston and already has, obviously, the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys, right.
And it's a big football state. So they may move to Texas, move into the Alamo Dome until they can build a new stadium in the Austin, San Antonio area.
Wow.
For Jerry
Three
Jones.
football teams there?
In this, well, it's a big state, right?
I
If you
know,
looked at the
but
map lately,
it's true.
Texas is a big state.
But San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas, I mean, it's not like they're on completely opposite ends of the state.
Yeah, they pretty much are, actually, Robin.
Well, not
Have you looked
completely.
at a
Okay, let me look at the map.
pull up a map of the state?
No, but San Antonio.
The geography portion of the podcast, then.
No, obviously, Texas, Dallas is in South Texas.
Yes.
San Antonio's in the middle. Houston's down near the.
Do all your
Now,
exes live in Texas?
No,
All
they
right,
wear
okay.
Rolexes, though.
All right.
But they're fake ones that I bought in Times Square a couple of years ago. Anyway, we'll get into that later on. Did everybody in here play tonight? The great crowd here inside the Comedy Sports?
Absolutely.
Did anybody in this room not play Powerball? Is anybody in here not play?
Nate didn't play. Nathaniel did not play. Look
You
at
didn't
that.
play? Oh, I hate to do it to you,
There's
man.
a guy I work with who's the same way. He's
I hate to do it.
anti-lottery.
You know what, though? We will share. That's just
No,
the way we are.
I respect his convictions when they say they're, anti-lottery, degenerate
But it's not,
gambling.
I mean, don't you want to give yourself a chance to dream about, I don't know, just every materialistic thing you could possibly
No,
ever
he's
want?
smart. That's why he's 28 and very wealthy.
Yes,
he doesn't
exactly.
throw his money away like we
And we're
do.
scraping together,
Exactly. Well, let's bring in
Dimes
our
and
guest. We
nickels.
have a special guest here tonight. One of the great things about being here at Comedy Sports here in Philadelphia, right across the street, we have the great Helium Comedy Club. And a lot of great comics come by, and they always stop by here before they go on. And this guy's a Philly area guy. Went to Conestoga High School.
Ah.
That's a main
Local,
line.
yeah.
I mean, places like you and I could never get
No,
into.
we never get into that.
We weren't
We're thrown
smart
out.
enough to go to Conestoga.
Exactly.
We went to South Philly schools.
That's right.
You see him everywhere. He's one of the all-time greats. Local guy here in Philly. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him in here. Mr. Todd Glass is in the house.
Look at this crowd. They look great.
Who's texting in here?
That's my sister. It's all right.
Oh, your
she's got
sister's texting during the
she's got
show?
a pass.
Good to see.
She's a wedding planner. She got clients.
How are you?
Good, Todd. Good to meet you. I've met everybody who's ever from Philly. I've never met you all the years that I've been around. Would you like some red wine?
Well,
That's
I thought it
actually
was
just.
Robitussin.
You can take that. You got a cough?
No, but, I like taking Robitussin.
However, we do have painkillers if you
Yes.
like that.
Well,
No, not
Not
narcotics.
Oxycontin. Yeah,
It's the drink,
exactly.
the
It's the
painkiller.
drink.
Oh, I'll take both.
That's right.
This is a BYOB show. How many podcasts have you been on where people bring their own booze?
I like it. It saves everybody.
This guy's got a 40 of Coors Light there.
This
Exactly.
guy's over here's got a heroin drip in his arm.
It's very laid back here. Very laid back.
What a crowd.
We're going to pour one out for David Bowie tonight. That's what they do. You pour one out.
I like it. I like
Airport is
it.
out
We're
there.
at Wawa. I miss Wawa. Let me tell you something. You have no idea. You say there's probably someone in here, they're inwardly going, I actually don't like Wawa because you're annoying. No, anybody that doesn't like Wawa, everybody's so friendly at Wawa. I should be their spokesperson, not they need me. But there's an energy at Wawa. People hold the door for each other. They're friendly. The coffee. The 7-Eleven. I don't know how they exist. I don't know how they exist. I don't know who goes, you know what? I prefer 7-Eleven. Well, I like filth.
No, you know what's great about 7-Eleven before
What?
the Wawa?
Seriously.
Is like at 2 in the morning if you're hungry, you can walk in and they still have that one hot dog rolling around on that grill thing.
It's been here for 3 weeks. That's the only
It just
problem.
rolls around and there's one left and it's like almost like a rock hard, but you don't care because you're high and you walk in
That's
exactly.
in the parking lot.
Well, if I couldn't find, if I could not find a Wawa, yes, I'd go to
Just a
7-Eleven.
backup.
But let me tell you something. That's like Kmart and Target. Like, I don't get. By the way, I have a theory. You notice you never really see a new 7-Eleven where it's like brand new and there's good management there. You know why? I think they build new 7-Elevens from old 7-Elevens. They have like a field and they put up like 50 of them, and when they rot and the refrigeration starts to rust, they take the pieces and build the new 7-Eleven.
Funny alarms.
Now I
We're
found
aware.
out something about
We're
you I
pretty
wasn't
loose here.
aware of. That you had a major heart attack.
No.
Yeah, did you
I don't know
not?
what you're talking about.
And then you didn't even realize it, right?
I did not. I was. This happened like 4 years ago. It was after a show, and to be honest with you, I smoke. I'm more of a pot smoker than a drinker. I don't know what you're allowed to say on this show.
You can say whatever you want.
I'm more of a pot smoker, but it's like 2 or 3 nights a week for me, and so it still affects me. And I thought I'd smoked too much because I'm one hit. It's good for me. But I had like a lot more because other comedians were hanging out. I thought maybe I just smoked too much, so I thought it was that. And then I had it during my set. I was having a heart attack during my set, which you think, cause I always thought a heart attack meant you're flailing around. I was like, but no, you're. I learned what a heart attack was from watching TV. I was like, this is the big one. That's what I thought. But after I got off stage, I did like a 35-minute set, and I just went down. I just went down, but I was aware.
You knew it was a heart attack?
No, I didn't. I didn't know it was a heart attack at all. Matter of fact, everyone was making jokes. It was like Sarah Silverman and friends, like Jeff Ross was there, Chelsea Peretti, a few other comedians, and they were making jokes. I was making jokes. They were like, they're like, Todd, are you too cheap to pay for an ambulance? And I thought everything was funny. I just couldn't laugh. And Sarah Silverman goes, I'll pay for the ambulance. But she goes, but it will be your birthday and Christmas present. And it was a lot funnier when it happened.
You have to be having a heart attack to find it funny. Yeah, exactly.
But all I remember them saying, and I talk about this in my act, was I remember them saying, when we get in the ambulance, the guy hooks me up to all the, the things, and he goes, sir, I don't want to alarm you, but right now you're having a heart attack. And I was like, oh, that's alarming. I thought, I don't know why you didn't want to be. That's not a good thing to tell people if your goal is not to alarm them. And then I just remember getting to the hospital, and this is true, and I remember finally a nurse leaning over. I don't really remember up to that point that much, but a nurse leans over. She goes, they have really good news. One of our best surgeons just pulled into the hospital. And I was thinking, well, I was hoping I wasn't having a heart attack. That was the good news. And then I thought, what else are they going to say? We got a guy, and he's on his way over. He's a little bit of a drinker, though, but he's smart. He operates blacked out. What are you going to do? Right? But they did the stint. And I'm fine. I luckily with no damage at all, and I just take my. Well, it's funny when they told me I was having a heart attack. I thought, how could I have a heart attack? All I've done is nothing right. I smoke a lot of cigarettes. I don't smoke anymore, and I didn't take my Lipitor. And then I'm like, what? How could I have a heart attack?
But this was a major blockage, right?
It was 100%, 98% blockage.
Wow.
I felt pretty good, actually. That's the amazing part. I felt great. I was a little bit tired a lot, but it was still not that bad. So bring it on. But now I'm great. Now I don't smoke. I juice every single day, and I take my Lipitor. My diet when I'm in Philly, I'm going to go down to Pat's and Gino's. There's no way that I'm not going to go down there. I have one of each, and then I bring a new person every time I'm in town. By the way, if you're starved and you either, let's say, they're both going to do right, Pat's or Gino's, you're not going to eat either. But there's always somebody, and there might be someone here, I don't want to offend anybody, like, no, you got to go to my place, Lifty Schmifty's.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens.
You get on the highway,
Right.
go over the Tony Pomar Bridge. I'm like, no, I want to go to Pat's or Gino's. I went there in high school. It's partly the atmosphere. No. And they don't hear you. You're like, and you try to be nice. You go, oh, yeah, I heard of that place. I heard that's really good. My comedian friends, we all want to go down to Pat's and Gino's, but I did hear about that place. I heard it's actually better. They're like, no, you got to go. I have to go. I'm not going. I'm not going to your place. Okay? Stop talking. Go to Pat's. Go to Gino's. So it's very hard. You get on the thing, do a spin around, and they always think, just when you think, where did this guy send me? This is them telling you where to go. Boom, there it is, right ahead of you. An elevator. You take it down, you get on a tram, you shoot over the Betsy Ross Bridge. There, you're in New Jersey, and then it's 5 minutes away. Boom, you get on a jitney, take it over. So, I will go down to Pat's or Gino's, and I'll tell you the truth, they're both good, but I don't like the signs that Gino's has up because they're intolerant, and I'm the opposite. I just believe in tolerance. I don't, the signs. Hey, he hangs up signs.
Not anymore. No, he doesn't do that anymore. Yes.
Good for him.
Yeah, because Gino Vento is actually my neighbor. He lives in my building.
Right.
In fact, where I live, I have Gino Vento, I have Tony Luke Jr., and I have Pat from Pat Steak. All three of the biggest steak guys in the city live in my building.
So Gino's took those signs down?
Yes, because Gino is the surviving son.
You know what?
The father died, yeah.
Yeah, the father died, and I think that's good. That's not disrespectful to his dad. Hopefully his dad is somewhere, wherever he is, he's enlightened. If he is existing, I hope he's not looking down. Hey, I'm still dumb. Put those signs back up. But I'm proud of him for taking those signs down. He did a good thing. Can I tell you why I'm proud? because I got to tell you, Pat's is great, Gino's is great, but I like Gino's more.
Now, do you like Twitter? Because a lot of people in the media, a lot of people, we know it's important because of what we do.
Yeah.
But there are people who say, I don't want to go on there because people just make stuff up and they say whatever they want.
I think it's, you
There
know
you
what?
go. Try this?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you got a golden monkey?
Yeah.
I
you'll
think
like
Twitter is whatever you want it to be. You know, there's a lot. There's a lot of. There's a lot. Not to be. I think it's whatever you want it to be. People say, oh, people can be mean on Twitter. I'm aware of it. I'm the most insecure person in the world. But overwhelmingly, Twitter does a lot. You know, Twitter is communication, and Twitter is like saying Twitter is bad is like saying TV is bad. It's like it's good, it's bad, it's whatever you want it to be. It puts you in touch with people, and it can be great. You can block people if you want. You just need a little. But overwhelmingly, any modern day social media, there's good and there's bad. That's like on is TV good or is it bad? It's like, well, there's bad TV and there's good TV, so it's the same thing.
By the way, you following me on Twitter, by the way?
Of course I am.
I'm just checking.
Yes,
You have to admit there has to be limitations on Twitter where you shouldn't be allowed to spew anything under an anonymous name. Like if you're doing
But
it
you're not
under-
anonymous. Don't you have your Twitter handle?
No, if you got an
No.
egg, you can put an egg on there. Now, it looks like me, most of the eggs.
Well, yeah,
My head
exactly.
shaped
It's
like an egg.
uncanny, really.
Yeah, but
No, but like you could make up some name, you could make up some email address and be on Twitter completely anonymously. I think that and there should be a limitation. Like if you want to say something horrible, go ahead, but it has to be as you.
Yeah, I would, you know, before I give I actually, believe it or not, I love this subject, and I would have to think about that because I get it, believe me, and you should see me, you know, somebody says one negative thing and I get all riled up, but I think it's like everything else. I only know this because my uncle told me this. He goes, when books came along, everybody thought the negative, and then when TV came along, everyone saw the negative. But at the end of the day, I think that's the downfall. But also, people can be so kind and so helpful. And when you look at the big picture of what Twitter does, like when there was that earthquake in China, some of those people, for whatever the reason, Twitter was the only thing the phones were going. And people just as simple, are you okay?
Is huge.
Man, I get the chills the first time someone told me that because someone that was there was like, wow, just to have someone go, are you okay? So overwhelmingly, people can be kind. It spreads awareness. And yeah, sometimes, not sometimes, even if it's 50% of the time that people are negative or whatever, but overwhelmingly, people can do some awesome things through Twitter and spread a lot of positive, a lot of information and support people. So I'm all right
I'm all
with it.
for it. I think it's fantastic, but I think that again, you have to be able to live with whatever consequences, good or bad.
you've done podcasts, you've done things. So what's the latest thing you got going? I know you have a book. I know you have
I was at Madison Square Garden with Jim Gaffigan. That was a hell of an experience. 15,000 people. That was
Wow.
It was absurd.
Yeah,
it
he's exploded off the scene, man.
was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And I'm doing a new hour special in February, a new hour stand-up special, which I'm excited about. And then I'm shooting a pilot also in February called, it explains itself. It's just called Camping with Todd, where we will literally take people, and they don't have to do anything. Some people say, oh, that's not camping. Camping's whatever you want it to be. We're still in the woods. There's still a fire. There's still no TV. There's still no cell phone coverage. But when the comedians or actors enter the site where we have everything set up, everything's done. The wood's chopped up. The beds are all ready. Your tents are set up. We don't want any of that. Like, oh, they can't set up their tent. Who gives a shit? That's not what I want. I want to get people out of a studio and
Camping with Todd is
I love it.
It's a great idea.
I think it's going to be
Can we
fun.
go with you?
Yeah, I'll take anybody.
You get humped by a bear like DiCaprio does in Revenants?
That's in the season finale. Yeah.
You can only wish.
That's all the action he gets out there.
Hey, it's a bear. You know, the bear's got good taste.
Exactly. That's right.
You know, he sees Leonardo
Little
DiCaprio.
porridge,
He's
you
like,
know.
I got to get a piece of that. He's a good-looking guy right there.
Are you? It's actually going to be in like outside. It's not going to be in a studio.
No. It's outside. Matter of fact, the site is about 30 minutes outside of Los Angeles, and you have to travel up this mountain to get there, and it's in the middle of nowhere. But we are
They
going to
blindfold the people and then they just show up. How do they get there?
We'll drive them up, and there'll be a
kidnap
camera
them
in the
and take
car showing what they're saying when they're approaching the top.
Oh, beautiful.
But everything will be done.
Do they know ahead of time that that's where they're going?
Oh
Or is
yeah,
this
yeah.
gonna be okay.
They'll be booked like guests. You know, they'll be like. There'll be a musical guest because that will be the performance around the fire pit. So
Oh.
so
there you
instead of
go.
having,
I
you know,
love
like
this.
with Bruno Mars, he'll just be He might have like some bongos,
Right.
but basically it'll just be him around the fire,
They're
acoustic.
not setting up like generators and doing the whole set.
Stage.
Right?
Well, they will have generators because
But I mean, they're not going to put up like a 12-piece orchestra.
No.
around a campsite.
It's suspended belief, Tony. They have to have the generators for the cameras, but other than that,
all the lighting. You're right. All the lighting to light the set will be lighting that you would use if you went camping. Lanterns.
Right,
You're not going to have any lights or any spot. It'll all be lanterns
It's
because
a great idea. See, people always say this. They haven't. Everything's been done already. This has not been. This
now,
is
let me
not
ask you this: was this something because you love camping and you came up with this idea, or was this a pitch that you're like, I want to be a part of this? Or?
Well, I just watch these talk shows, and again, it's not a talk show because the minute you say talk show, people think of desk. But basically, you want to. How can you put people in a different atmosphere? That I didn't want it to just be gimmicky, like, oh, we're camping. Who cares? But it really does bring different things out of different people. And I do camp, but I don't camp hardcore. Like I just said, what I'm creating here is what I do in real life. We bring and some people will tease you, but like I said, I bring an RV on there's like 10 of us that go camping. It's usually a lot of comics. We put an RV on the site. We park an RV because it's just your base. I don't care. I want a bathroom. I don't want to go.
I am so with you.
Yeah, but you're still, like I said, at the end of the night, it's still outside.
Yep.
It's still dark. No phone, no TV. We're throwing wood in a fire.
Love
There's
it.
sparks coming out. So that's all real.
So people can't use their phones or anything else.
The place we're going, there's no phone.
No
like they said.
reception.
Then Robin could never survive a day.
No.
I mean, she
What
would
are you
forgot it.
talking
She would
about?
be crawling out
Nope.
on the highway.
Can't get on,
She'd be
Amazon.
hitchhiking, looking
We
for
were-
my way out.
Can't get on Amazon.
We were on a catamaran.
Well, Todd, it's great to see you, man. I really appreciate it.
I'm not done.
I
got a story about my uncle.
What else you got going on?
No, I'm good. Everything else is good. I'm over there. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, but just really quick. Now, you live out in LA now, right?
Yes, I do.
So you're just.
You've been out in L.A. forever.
I've been out in LA a long time, yeah.
I was there 11 years. I'm one of the dopes that moved back. You know what happens? No, my family's here.
Well,
I
your
love
entire
it.
family.
Where do you live here?
I live
if
in
you
the
don't
city.
mind.
South Philly.
You live in the city?
Yeah.
I love the city. We used to come down here in South Philly. My dad had a friend that lived in South Philly for Christmas, and everybody double parked in the streets. I was like,
They still do, actually.
They
still-
do.
they carry
Now
on
they
that
park
tradition.
in the middle of Broad Street. The entire middle.
And nobody gets tickets.
No.
No.
But if you park, I was down there today seeing a real estate guy. I'm Broad and Porter. I'm parked in a meter, and if I'm out there checking to make sure. I got to go out and check to make sure that my meter's not running out.
And you're a good friend of the parking authority, too. They love you.
People in the middle of the street with no meters, nothing.
On the island,
They're illegal. They're
halfway
allowed
up
to
on the
park
island,
there,
yeah.
But I got to worry about my meter running out.
Exactly.
Or PPA is going to do.
Now, the other
PPA,
thing-
by the way, the worst. The most.
Here's
I
a
don't
rant.
wanna- They're hardworking
This is an
people.
ongoing.
But the PPA, they're the only efficient
Parking authority?
The Philadelphia Parking Authority.
Let me tell you something. If ever I get a ticket, look, they have a hard job.
Oh,
Yes, they do.
absolutely.
I'm going to preface this. Don't worry, I get
You have to be heartless to have that job, though.
I think it's
You have
certainly.
to be heartless to have
Is there
that job.
anybody that works for the PPA here?
Really?
Here's what I don't like.
They're done as a sponsor, by the way.
If they give me a ticket, here's my trick. You want to know my trick? And then I will get to the part when I don't mind being harassing them. But if I get a ticket, I come out, I get a ticket, I never harass them. Especially when they're nice. They're like, never. They're doing their job. I get it. But here's what I don't like. And then I also figured out how I don't get any tickets anymore. I'll end with that. So if I'm parked in my neighborhood in front of a red zone, but I'm in the car, and they pull up next to me. It's a red zone, but I'm in the car waiting for somebody. Here's why I have fun. I don't have tags in my car. I don't put them on. I lease a car every 2 years so I can sort of get away with it. So I don't have tags in the car. So they can't just write it from far away. And I love it. So if I run in to get a juice, like there's a place where I always run in to get my juice that I set out every day.
Jamba Juice?
No. That's
Jungle
sugar
juice?
and ice. A real juice. And they park behind me. They can't write it from they usually park like 2-3 car lengths away. By the time you get out, it's written. They got it written already. They have to come up to my car, look at my VIN number. And they can't complain. That's just a car with temporary tags. So by the time I get out, they hate it. But especially when I'm sitting in the car. Again, if I get a ticket, I'm always kind. Because they're not all heartless. I bet some of them.
No, I'm saying it's hard to write. If it's like if you work for that PPA and the meter goes, your obligation is to do it. Somebody's running up and it's about to turn. I'm saying you have to really be
hard,
cruel
yeah.
to say, I'm going to still write you a ticket.
Right.
I'm not going to cut you any slack.
But there are
I mean,
the
if somebody's
ones
sitting there for
right.
2 hours and they're not going to put money in. I get it. You're guilty.
Get it.
You should get a ticket.
Or if the meter runs out in 2 minutes and they are there within 2 minutes before, and they're writing you a ticket right at that moment. Like, they can't wait.
Some are
2 minutes.
Some of them are heartless. Some of them are very cool, actually, and it does bother them when people yell at them, and it probably does hurt their soul. But when they just the percentage that are asses, so they pull up in my neighborhood. This just happened like 2 weeks ago, and I'm in my car, no tags. And they pull up next to me. They go, "You gotta move your car." I go, "Oh, I'm just waiting for someone, but And then you gotta move your car. I go, "Well, you know what? I'm not going to." So I roll up my window, and she parked behind me for 3 minutes. And guess what? I wanted to leave, but I didn't because I wanted to annoy her. So I stayed in my car, and I waited till she got out of her car. Walked all the way up. When she got to my door, I just pulled off. I'm like, "That's it." I'm like, "Yeah, there you go. You're just being a jerk."
The PPA.
All right.
The PPA guys.
We end on a round of applause.
That's a good job out of you.
Thank you.
What's that, Luigi?
No, let's say the PPA guys are like they're like the jerks in high school that just couldn't make it through the police academy.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
basically what
you know
it
what?
is.
Again, I preface it. There are the ones that are kind. If they're listening,
No,
they're
I have a lot
appreciating
of
me
buddies
saying
who
this.
work for
But
the PPA.
he's right. First of all, they throw on those yellow lights. I'm like, they're not scary. They're yellow, and they love turning on the yellow lights. Those are the guys when there's an accident. There's no cops there yet. They love pulling up first. They get out of the car. Oh yeah, they wear a jacket even if it's summer. You know why they wear jackets in the summer?
Why?
Because it looks like maybe it's their cops and it covers their gun. So they wear the jacket because if you get out, you go, could that be a cop? Because you can't see if they have a gun. I figured this all out. I'm very on to these
good. I
guys.
can see
I'm like, and they turn on their yellow lights. I'm like, all right, the red and blue is scary. Yellow is security guard at the mall. You know?
Here's the interesting thing about LA. People don't know this unless you've lived out there. When you buy a car or lease a car, here in Pennsylvania, you got to have a tag, a Pennsylvania tag. In LA, you get a car, they put a cardboard sticker that has the dealership name on it.
Yeah.
And you can drive around
Well,
you get your tag.
You need something in the front window, too. There
Yeah,
is
but
a
it's still that there's no license plate.
No, not in the...
There's
And I
the
love
license
it.
plate is a cardboard dealership tag.
That's all it is.
It says Joe's Oldsmobile.
And I keep it in
They
there
don't even
for
make anymore.
2 years I keep that in there. I don't get tickets. It's the best thing in the world. Oh, by the way, talk about flying through where you have to pay, like Easy Pass.
Yeah.
Nope, no Easy Pass payment for me. Boom, right through.
Because there's no plate.
No plate.
No plate.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
in a state like California with 100 million people, they still have a system where there's no state
Right.
inspection.
like
There's no state
primitive.
inspection. You don't have to get your car inspected.
Well, no, you do.
Just smog, but that's only for older cars. But like here in Pennsylvania, every year you have to get a sticker that's put on the window and the windshield that says, 1.
Oh, no, we don't have that.
17.
You got to get the... You got to
Right?
get... Yeah, we
In
don't have
Jersey?
No,
the
in
same-
California, there are hoopties, major
Yeah.
hoopties.
Watch your
driving
mouth.
around. Put together with like duct tape and all sorts of things.
No, like the cars are like really rotted out. So I hear, Pennsylvania, you got a little ding in your windshield. They give you a ticket.
Yeah.
You got to
Oh,
go
yeah.
get a new windshield.
I always thought it would be fun. I used to have a joke in America. If you see someone getting a ticket from a meter maid, but it's not your car, what if you ran over and go, "It's my car, please don't ticket it." And of course they go, "I have to." I go, "You know what? Tow it. I don't give a shit." I bet you can't even get it towed. Try towing it. Go ahead. I don't even care. I say on that, I say good night, everybody. Go out big.
They love Todd Glass. Go see him at the Helium Comedy Club.
Yes, there's still tickets available for Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
Exactly. Todd, thank you so much, buddy. But anyway, we'll talk about it. Let me give you my breakdown again on the Powerball. Yes. Because unfortunately, the Powerball drawing will occur after the show. So if we're not on next week, you know what happened. And I love the people pool together and they talk about what they're going to do and they're going to split it a million ways. I told you the government will take 39.6% tax. Here's the best part. So if you hit it and you're the only person, right?
Yes.
You're going to take home $561.7 million. That's what you take home, right? Now, the government takes 25% right away. They don't take the 39.6% tax.
Okay.
So in other words, you win, you're supposed to get 561.7.
Right.
The government will take 25% right off the bat. So you're going to get a lump sum check for $697,500 million, right?
Okay.
Then you wait till April. Then you got to
Wait.
write a check to the IRS for
Yes.
the other $135.8 million.
$8 million, right.
Wouldn't you rather them take it all?
Yeah,
at the
take it
beginning?
all at one time. I
So
don't.
you're going to take from 697. Then you're going to instead just give me the money.
Right.
Take the 39.7.
Take everything you gotta take and then leave me to
Get
rest.
out of my face.
Right.
Give me my damn check.
I don't wanna
Let me
deal with you
do
in 2
it.
years
But
and
then
then-
I got to wait till April. Then I
Yeah.
got to write you a check for 135.8.
Exactly.
Why? Why? Am I
agree.
wrong?
No, you're right.
Would you want to write it? I mean, I know hopefully you'll still have
something left.
Yeah,
The check won't bounce.
But this is what Mark Cuban actually said, what he thought people should do. He said, what the very first thing that you do is you stop answering the phone. The second thing you do is you hire an accountant, and you have them put the money away that you're going to need to pay as taxes in April. You have them put it in whatever they...
He said put it in a savings account.
Right.
He said, don't even bother buying investments and all these other things.
Well, the reason why is if you've never invested before, do not have this be the impetus to start making you invest, because you're not going to be able to do it.
What about Bitcoins? Can you still buy Bitcoins?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know. They're like
how about green stamps? That was back in...
S&H green stamps.
Exactly.
If you're good at investing, by all means, keep doing it. But if you've never done an investment ever in your life, do not make this be the first time you do it.
No, this is like Sylvester Stallone's mom. Remember that story? She would go to the casino all the time and play slot machines.
Psychic lady?
I don't know.
Yeah, she did the Psychic Network, yeah.
So Sylvester Stallone's
mom. She always wore the headband, remember that?
Yes.
She was a degenerate slot machine player, like I am.
Okay, right.
But she would go there every day.
But you have no headband.
Yeah, no, exactly. I didn't have it. I had hair, actually, the last time. So she would... No, it didn't even have to be Vegas. No, anywhere I walked by a slot machine...
Right, you were there.
Play.
All right, okay.
So she would play, and she hit it for like $5 million. So then you know what she does? She starts putting money back in another machine thinking she's going to hit more.
Right.
If you won $5 million on a slot
you
machine,
walk.
Would you go back and try to hit another one?
No, you just walk. You walk.
Because
$5 million, you got to walk.
A progressive slot machine is almost impossible.
Right.
But she wanted to keep playing. I mean, hopefully she had enough money she didn't need it. You win $5 million, I'm walking away.
No, absolutely.
I'm taking the annuity if I hit this thing.
See, now, would you take the annuity?
Absolutely.
How many people would take the annuity?
They said it's actually wiser.
Because you're going to get it over a course of 29 years, right? But if you win $500 million, okay, well, so you're going to win $1.5 billion. You're getting all $1.5 billion over the course of 29 years. And then you pay the tax annually. It's the price you pay for not getting all the money up front. So
you're still going to be taxed at 39%.
Tony, but it's fine. I'm still going to get the entire $1.5 billion.
I don't have 39 years to wait around.
You don't?
I want my damn money now.
All right, well, we're in a different boat.
Tony wants to buy an island, off somewhere. That's what he's playing.
No wireless, no anything. I remember.
You ever watch those shows on like HGTV at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Island living.
Right.
Where you can buy some island for $1 million.
That's what you want.
That's what I want to do.
Right.
He's like, screw the house, screw
exactly.
the
He wants to walk away from it all.
Car, just a big old island.
Yes.
The Tony Bruno Island.
Exactly.
So Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Hampshire, and Florida, the East Coast states,
yes,
they have there's no state tax or local tax on the lottery winnings. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
However, California, which I'm surprised, because on the East Coast I mentioned Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Hampshire, Florida, up and down the eastern seaboard. Then it's California, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington State, and Wyoming. Those are the other states, all the states that do not take state or local taxes out of your lottery winnings. Everybody's going to pay the federal tax. But California surprises me because they tax everything out there. It's ridiculous. But the states the worst state is New York. We talked about it earlier.
Shocking.
You will actually, if you hit this lottery for $1.5 billion, you're not going to take home $500 million because of all the taxes.
I'm sure.
So you're talking about 1/3 of the actual supposed value of the pool. $500 million. I would be angry.
Oh, absolutely.
If I lived in New York and I won the lottery for $1.5 billion, they said, you're taking home $500 million and you'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Right.
I wouldn't be happy with $500. Would you?
Hell no.
Hell no.
No, they're taking half of your money. They're
More
taking
than half.
3/4 of your money.
Charging $9 for a bagel.
Damn right.
Exactly.
They charge you $18 for a crappy sandwich in a hotel room.
Right.
It's an outrage. Ladies and gentlemen, he's here. Let's stop the program right now. Ladies and gentlemen, entering the Comedy Sports Theater right now, a man who was doing
I'm ready to get up and do my thing.
Yeah. So Brian Baldinger, of course, NFL great, played with the Eagles, played his brothers. His whole family's been in football. One of my great friends from way back. We did a TV show together, I was telling you about, called Monday Night Live, back at the old Lagoon. Back in the day, when Brian was still playing. That's how far back we go. That was 92 or 90? Was that 95?
95, 20 years ago.
20 years ago. So we're at the Lagoon in Essington, which is now changed to like 5 different places. Remember, how are you, Baldy? By the way, Happy New Year, buddy.
Hey, Happy New Year, Tone. Thanks, man.
Brian Baldinger here.
Fantastic.
You like this?
Well, if you're performing.
It is. Yeah. We just had Todd Glass in here. He was performing.
No, this is it, man. I mean, this is fantastic. You got the lighting here. You got the screen.
We're going to be on
We're big time.
YouTube.
YouTube?
YouTube, iTunes.
Take this to another level, Tone.
We're trying to, man. We're trying to.
We are.
We're taking it to the bridge.
Yeah.
Let's take it to the bridge. He was playing James Brown, and James Brown always took it to the bridge, right? Or he said, let's take it to the bridge.
Took some stuff
Take
under
it to the bridge.
Yeah, and under the bridge, too.
So now, Baldy, I was texting you. So there's breaking news now. Give us the very latest. Ben McAdoo, what's the latest? Because obviously he was the Giants' offensive coordinator. And then Tom Coughlin's been in here, and Peterson's been in here, and obviously Hugh Jackson took the Cleveland job.
Adam Gase is gone.
Adam Gase. So there's only 4 jobs still open.
Yep.
The Eagles, Tampa, the Giants, and 49ers.
Yep.
And then when I was
We'll see
texting
what happens
back
in
and forth,
Tennessee.
when I was back and forth with you, you were saying, Ben, your phone's blowing up. Ben McAdoo news is blowing up. What's the latest?
Well, I mean, nothing's definite at this point, but it looks like, he's the leader in the clubhouse. And if you look at Ben McAdoo, who was the Giants offense coordinator the last 2 years and really kind of helped Eli Manning out. He led the league in turnovers 3 years ago with interceptions. He cut all that down. But, he's a guy, he's a Pennsylvania kid. If you look at Mike McCarthy in Green Bay, his father was a bartender in Pittsburgh. Like, he traveled the same routes that Mike did. He was in New Orleans. He was in San Francisco. He was in Green Bay with Mike, won a championship with Mike there. I think he was coaching, tight ends at that time. He's coached the tight ends and the quarterbacks. So he's been a coach like his whole life since he left college.
But here's the thing about Ben McAdoo, and I don't know, or nor do I.
38 years old.
He's a guy. So you got Coughlin leaves, right? He resigns, and then a week later, everybody's wooing him for a job. So it's obvious that the Giants wanted him to leave.
They fired him.
They fired him, but they did do it. They did it the right thing. They said you can leave, and then a week later, he's talking to the Niners. He's talking to all these teams, and that's good because they should, because he's a great coach. But if you're the Giants and you still have Eli Manning and you still have some players, how would you allow not only Tom Coughlin to get away and go maybe to a rival, but now Ben McAdoo, who still has Eli Manning in that offense to coach? Why would those guys all want to leave and not stay and try to become the Giants coach?
Well, I think that in the case of Ben McAdoo, like the Eagles need a head coach. Like they're not worried about, they just need a coach.
Right.
So that's what they're looking for. The Giants, while they might want to keep their offense, a continuity there by keeping. Maybe they don't think Ben McAdoo is ready in their eyes. I mean, the Giants are very particular about who they hire. They like to hire from within, guys that have been there, know the history. Now, I'm not saying that Ben doesn't. And I'm not saying the Giants still aren't interested. But it's clear that if they wanted Ben McAdoo to be their head coach, he'd be their head coach. And so while I think they want to keep the offense, the way it's been and grow with it, not at the expense of hiring a guy they don't think is ready or not the right guy for them.
See, that was the thing that got me with McAdoo. I'm sorry to cut you off there. Is that if the Giants wanted McAdoo to be the coach, that's it. He's ready to go.
That's
he steps right in for Coughlin, and you don't skip a beat. But obviously, they don't want him there for a reason, and that brings up a red flag.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a red flag. I mean, it just takes one team. The Giants know him better than anybody. So they've been around him and they know. And maybe they don't think he's ready yet. He's 38 years old. But I think this divorce, Tony, was so bad in Philadelphia between Jeffrey Lurie and Chip Kelly. Like, he just wants somebody stable, somebody that he knows. Like, he doesn't want to go down that road ever again. With somebody that wants to do it his way and it's about his ego. Like, he doesn't want any of that. Now, when you look at Ben McAdoo, the irony is he's kind of a chubby, redheaded guy. Now, I just came from a barbecue house, the type of place that Andy Reid would spend a lot of time at or order out a bunch from. And you just get to feel like he could, I mean, he's not as big as Andy, but you could see in Jeffrey Lurie's eyes, maybe we get the next chubby, redheaded guy out of Green Bay.
Enjoy the win, man.
Now, here's the other thing. Now, it seems that...
chubby is not a word.
No, it's
not a word.
Last time I talked to you, you were going through the knee thing, and obviously you're 100%, because you had a major knee infection, right?
I did,
now, how long? That was how long? That wasn't that long ago.
So I had a procedure done on my knee that went bad, and it started swelling on me. And I was traveling a lot all over the country, and they were draining it. And I was up at the Patriots opening day of training camp. So it was a big day with Brady coming back after this whole deflate gate. You got a standing room only crowd at practice, and we're there kind of broadcasting the whole thing. I could not walk onto the field. I couldn't walk. So I went to the hospital that day in Boston, and they took a culture of my knee. And 2 days later, I was up at the Jets for one of their training camp practices. They told me I had a staph infection, and I had to get to an emergency room immediately. So I went to Virtua Hospital in New Jersey. Then literally 12 hours after I got the call, they were cutting it wide open.
And this was when? This was
August 2nd.
So this is this summer, and that's major surgery. I mean, that's
not just major surgery, but I have an arthritic knee, and the knee was in a position where I was functional. I could go play golf. I could do all the stuff I wanted to do, travel, play, party, whatever I was doing, and it was fine. But when they opened it up, all of this all of the arthritis and all this junk in there. They just scrape it and they don't give a shit. They just scrape it. And I got out of there, man. I did a show with Tony Anthony Gargano, the day of the surgery, Tony. Like I'd just gotten out of recovery. I was like groggy, and I'm talking to Anthony Gargano about the Eagles opening day. Like I wasn't really all there, but I was doing the best.
Were you in a coma with Todd Glass?
Yeah, Todd Glass, yeah.
Because he's talking about being in a show that he did. He was in a coma.
I haven't been in a coma yet, but I wish I was in a coma some days. The pain that I was in. No, I couldn't. So I had this dilemma because I couldn't walk after the surgery for at least a month, and football season started. My first football game was at West Virginia on September 5th. And so I was like, well, me and my buddies, we'll just drive to West Virginia. We won't have to fly. And I canceled everything in August. Everything I had to do in training camp, I canceled. And then the next game I had was at Texas Tech, and I had to do the Redskins opening game. So I had to go to Texas Tech, do a game, get to Washington, do that game, drive to Baltimore, and then fly to LA to work. So that's how the schedule was. And I couldn't really walk. And it was like, I was a mess, man. But here
you are. Let's see, what's that? September.
It's been like
October,
5 months.
November, So now, not only you're walking around, you're out at NFL Network, out in Los Angeles, right down the street from where I used to live.
Let me tell you, so Tony used to live in Venice. All right, he lived like 3 blocks off the beach in Venice Beach, in a house that if there was the biggest earthquake you could get in California, that house would still stand. That house was so solid. But in his house, those hands can build anything, right? So he built his own studio in his house. All right. So this thing was state of the art. Headsets, microphones, the way the walls were protected, everything. It was amazing. So when I would do our show back here for the Fanatic with Harry or whoever I was working with, like I would go to Tony's house. So my show was 10 to 12 at that time. So when I was out in LA, I'd get up at 6 and I'd go over to Tony's house, which was like 5 minutes from my hotel. And he'd give me the key. He was sleeping upstairs. I'd go in there, make myself a cup of coffee, and I would go do my show from like 7 till 9 in his house for months. I did the thing for like a year out there. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
And then I would wake up and come down, and Baldy would leave, and I'd go and do the next show.
Yeah.
I'd sit down in the chair, and it would just keep going on and on and on.
Tony's breakfast is a cup of coffee and a biscotti. Right? He dips that biscotti in his coffee.
Exactly.
And it's like
good job out of you, Tony.
Okay? And he's got more vitamins than he takes than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Well, thanks.
Got a kitchen full of vitamins.
You go almond or you go chocolate biscotti?
I go with the chocolate on the side, the chocolatini on the side.
There you go.
They just dip the one side of the biscotti in the chocolate. You get them at Costco. You get the whole big Nonni's biscotti.
No, you got to be hooked on biscotti and coffee at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I buy them by the truckload. I got to have delivered.
We were able to pull video of Baldy.
Yes. So my point is, so Baldy, here we go, 6 months later.
Yeah.
So Baldy goes back and forth. He goes to L.A., where he used to come out there and do the NFL Network when I was living there. And then he would come back to Philly. So you're on the NFL. What day was this when this happened, Baldy?
This was for the surgery?
Yeah, no, this handstand and the split.
Yeah, well, I did that I did it on last Monday.
So last Monday, you're out in L.A., you're in the NFL Network.
Yeah.
And this is Brian Baldinger live on the NFL
you got it up
Network
See all the
doing
faces
a split and then a handstand. Watch this.
That's incredible.
Not all the way down, but
Watch this now. This is impressive.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Watch the screen. 10.
10 seconds. Hey, wait, here's the best part.
Finger like this, but I just did it. And it should be trending big globally right now.
And there's Brian.
Yeah.
Now, people are suggesting, Baldy, and bring the light, that you had an advantage in the handstand because of your pinky.
That's true, Tony.
It's like a natural. It's like a kickstand for a bike.
You're right, Tony. I think I do get that advantage.
Listen, that may be an advantage, but there isn't anybody in this room, I don't believe, who could do a handstand for 10 seconds.
No, that's crazy.
Anybody in this room can do a hand. If they can, I want them to come up
Or
right
sober.
up here and do it.
Yeah.
Even drunk.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
No, but the thing is, Tony, I did that live. So we were going off the air last week, right? So I had one shot to do it.
He is?
It's
There you go.
official
Breaking
now.
news.
Breaking news right here on the show. As Brian Baldinger suggested a few moments ago, his phone's been blowing up, so the Eagles have hired Ben McAdoo. Oh, the Giants got
Giants
him.
hired him.
Okay.
The Giants.
The Giants do a preemptive strike.
What we just talked about here,
Yeah.
Tony.
Yep.
We
That's
sort of teased it.
Exactly. We said, why would the Giants let this guy go when they let Coughlin go and they let McAdoo go, who helped Eli Manning? Maybe not in the last 2 minutes of a lot of games, but certainly the Giants had all those leads in the fourth quarter, right?
Started with the Cowboy game, first game of the year.
Absolutely. So,
yeah, Falcons, Patriots, Carolina.
Now, do you believe that the Giants went in there and swooped him up because they knew the Eagles were going to make a move quickly?
I do think they really wanted the offense to kind of keep moving the way it's going. And I think they didn't want to lose Ben and have to start all over in the offense. I mean, Eli Manning's going to his 13th year. So it was funny. When this guy came into New York, Eli had been in this league for 10 years. He won 2 Super Bowls. And that year after Super Bowl, he led the league in interceptions, right? Mm-hmm. So they have all these option routes, not to get technical, but Tom Coughlin's like, we got to stop this stuff. These guys are running the wrong routes. Eli's throwing it here. They're going here. Like, we got to. So they brought this guy in. And literally, so here's Eli, and he's a Manning. Like, he has a Manning Academy. He teaches people how to play quarterback. This guy changed his entire footwork. Mm-hmm. And it was any Giant fan out there that watched him in preseason, he struggled that first year. Not just preseason, the first quarter of the season. But the footwork's much better now. It gets the ball out quicker.
No, and I mean, to me, I thought the Giants, as much as I'm an Eagle fan, the Giants really should have won the division. If they don't blow leads, they had leads. Yeah. They had 10-point leads in late in games. And they were probably the best equipped team, even though they had a lot of problems on defense in the secondary, like every other team did.
Injuries killed them.
They absolutely.
No, I believe because they should. I mean, so the Redskins won the division with a 9-7 record. I think they easily could have gotten to 9-7, maybe 10-6. Mm-hmm. If they don't, they didn't collapse. They just made tactical errors in the final 2 minutes of these games. Where if you sit back,
they were in the lead for most of those losses.
I did the whole thing last night. I went through every game that they collapsed in last night, and I watched it, and I said, okay. And it's easy in hindsight here, but I was just going. But they paid Tom Coughlin a lot of money to be able to know these things. He doesn't call any plays. He's just managing the game. And he didn't get it right. And then that game with Odell, you've got to take that kid off the field when he's throwing punches. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is his livelihood, and he's throwing these punches at guys. You got to, control that guy. So I knew that Tom Coughlin was done. But this doesn't surprise me. And I think he was a leader for the Eagles. So, really, they wanted Adam Gase. They wanted this guy. Both of them have signed. So now you're almost – do you wait for Doug Peterson? I mean, if they
what happens if they go to the Super Bowl?
That's what I'm saying.
Now you're talking February 8th, and you still don't have a coach.
Not just a coach, but you lose the staff. Because the Senior Bowl will already have come and gone, and most of the really good assistant coaches out there will already have signed on with somebody else. So it's a dangerous game.
And you can't hire Doug Peterson until the season's over.
Yeah.
Which could be the Super Bowl.
Could be.
They're kicking back and soaking up.
You got to get the pot filled up here before we get the money in.
Florida.
Yeah. Can I donate to him?
Yeah, you got to get a ticket, though. You get a ticket. Yeah. Is Molly eligible to put some money in there?
Hell yeah.
$1.
I don't want a ticket. I want somebody else to win. I just want to donate.
You put $1 in and you get a ticket. You put every dollar is a ticket.
Yeah, we take donations. I should have said that.
I see a lot of dollars in there. So
no, there's 5s and 10s in there too.
I have 100. I have the old billfold. I have the 100 on the top and a bunch of
singles. You got the Donnie Brasco money roll.
Donnie Brasco.
Beaner on the outside.
On the top. Yeah.
My money clip is nothing but ones. Because I like to make it rain, even in the wintertime.
I have a change counter. I attach to my belt. I make it drizzle.
My money clip is once, as in there once used to be money in there.
Obligation to put money in there.
I just feel like we can.
No, give him a ticket. Give Baldy a ticket because he can win some fabulous prizes, man.
Well, he doesn't want tickets. He just wants to donate.
Well,
donate.
But here's what happens. Somebody's going to name.
He's donating. All right.
And then we're going to spin the wheel. And if you land on jackpot, and by the way, the jackpot's been hit 3 times in 5 weeks.
Yes.
You spin the wheel, so there's 1 in 24 chance.
This is probably the highest it's been.
There's one jackpot. There's 23 other.
Yes, exactly. Well, there's another one that's called Fistful of Dollars, which is at the bottom of the jack. So if you land on Fistful of Dollars, we open the box, and then you reach in and grab with one hand like a claw as much as you can, and you keep all of that.
Stuff is genius.
You do realize
we do here,
you do realize we're in the middle of a Florida update right now.
I just wanted to explain the rules. And now let's go to your Florida desk and the update of the week with Miss Robin.
Well, not only is Florida known as the crazy state, but there has to be crazy lawsuits in Florida as well. And in this particular case, it is with Ronda Rousey.
Rousey.
God, I get it wrong.
She always gets it wrong.
I want to see Rousey,
Rousey,
whatever.
French.
So GB White has filed a truly bizarre lawsuit against UFC Ronda Rousey and the
Rousey.
Rouse, write it Rousey.
Like mouse. Rouse.
Like Laos.
Rouse in the state of Florida. He claims that she is it's so small. GB claims.
Could you have made that a smaller copy,
know.
Robin? Look, I want to show people look at that.
Oh my
that
God.
print.
It's an eye chart.
It's like a fine print on a contract that nobody reads.
Now you made me lose my place. I'm not going to be able
Wait,
to find
Ronda
it again.
Rousey is. Go ahead.
Right. And he claims that he's filed a temporary restraining order against Rousey because he planned to expose various secrets about the UFC star. He claims that she used to be a man named Ron Rousey, and if that's not, that she is the son of famous pornographic star Ron Jeremy, and not only, it doesn't end there, and that he did steroids with Barry Bonds. Now, if that's not enough, he also claims that Rousey had a sex tape with John Jones.
So he's suing, and a judge is somebody's going to actually take this suit and actually look at it as a serious litigation.
So she's a transgender.
Yes. And then so that's why she shouldn't be fighting, because she's actually a man. And that there's a restraining order. So the whole lawsuit is a restraining order.
Maybe she can go after Caitlyn. And they can have another match.
There you go.
Yeah, that would
Why
be
is this
fair.
guy
Pay-per-view
suing?
match. That'd be
He's
great.
suing because she's not eligible, because she's not really a woman?
Correct. Well, he
Okay.
wants a restraining order against her so that he can expose all of these things, and he doesn't want her anywhere near him because she might, do something to him.
I still don't get the story.
Well, that's
it's
why it's a
Florida.
very bizarre
Florida.
case.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been thrown out yet?
Well,
We'll probably
no.
go up to the Supreme Court.
No, it has not been thrown out
In
yet.
this country.
But I love it. He articulates in a letter to the judge that she will judo kick his head into submission in an
Much
effort,
like hers was in the last fight.
in an effort to prevent his whistleblowing regarding her secretive past.
Oh, man.
Yeah, really.
That should be on Making of a Murderer Part 2.
You should.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's make a documentary out of that.
And there you have it, your weekly I Can't Believe That Happened in Florida update.
It's like a
Tony, have you been following
Caribbean holiday.
No, I actually haven't watched it
I
yet.
know a lot of people like that.
I know, it's like super hot. I don't have time for that stuff, Paul.
I got the
Nobody
Cliff
got time
Notes
for
from
that.
my son.
You what?
I have the Cliff Notes from my son. It's pretty interesting.
You watching
Okay.
that stuff?
No, I'm not, Tony. You're doing podcasts and I'm doing NFL stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it's
work.
busy-
busy guys.
Now you have
Busy guy.
100 jobs, Paul. You don't
That's
stop,
right.
man.
No.
That's why you can do handstands.
That's right.
I can't even stand up, and you're doing handstands. So, Baldy, this is the
Time
first
flies.
time. Now, you've been on the podcast on the phone, but
Yes.
not since we've been in the studio.
I didn't know this is where you broadcast.
What do you think, then? What do you think?
Well, I love the live audience. It's awesome.
This is great, isn't
But
it?
this is a cool theater, man.
Comedy Sports every Saturday
So-
night. They do improv in here.
Yeah. So do you do it? How many?
Every Wednesday
Every
night.
Wednesday night.
Right here live. Free to come in. BYOB. Sometimes we get food dropped off. But I want to thank all the people who came out here tonight. Great crowd. I want to thank Todd Glass, who was with us earlier. You can go see him at Helium Comedy Club across the street here on Sansom Street in Center City, Philadelphia. Brian Baldy. You can follow him at Baldy NFL on
Yeah,
Twitter
why
now.
not, man?
Baldy's
He's
back.
I tweet every once in a while. I tweet.
Yeah, you're
also
semi-active.
you're still active on Periscope too,
I
right?
Periscope. Yeah,
Yeah.
Periscope all season long on Thursday nights.
I love the fact that you drink while you're
Yeah, the
Periscoping.
Coors
it's the
Light
best.
Periscope. I like that. I watch the Coors Light
Yeah,
Periscope.
no, I think it should be like we should just be ourselves.
You yourself.
You hear all the bottles here? You hear all the people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good
There you
stuff.
go.
man.
Right, that's
Got a
right.
40 ounce.
the old
Coors
40
Light.
ouncer, man.
We thank Brian Baller. Our
Old
buddy
school.
Joe Corrado at JCorrado19. Follow him on Twitter. The great Luigi Curto up there.
Luigi.
On the ones and twos.
Luigi.
You follow him at Luigi Curto22. The great Natalie Eganoff up there. Her mom's here tonight too. Her mom, what was her name again? A nice Italian name. What was it? Gabrielle.
There you go.
Gabrielle.
Exactly. Joe
Gabrielle.
Corrado's family and all the Medigons who are here tonight. That's right. Of course, our great buddy Nathaniel Dotson, who puts the show on YouTube at Tutvid. Follow him. Does great work. Does everything. The kid does everything, man. He's he's a genius. I don't know why he's hanging out with us. And of course, at Miss Robin Austin. Don't forget to come out and check out Comedy Sports here on Saturday nights. 2 shows. Great improv. It's a lot of fun. and me. Follow me on Twitter at Tony Bruno Show. We'll be at the Super Bowl, Bally.
Oh.
We got a Super Bowl party coming up on Super Bowl Sunday in San Jose.
Tony is hosting. They get
My first ever party at the Glass House in San Jose.
All right, that's not far from the stadium.
You got to come
Real
down,
close.
Bally.
Well, I'll be out there. I'm doing a show on a boat out there in the harbor.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Handstands and everything. The whole
Handstands, yeah, but like you'll be on Radio Row.
Yeah, we'll see you every day out there. We'll be out in San Francisco. We're actually doing a podcast on the Monday night of Media Night at Comedy Sports San Jose.
The very best host at a live event. There's nobody in the whole country better than Tony Bruno.
Hey,
anybody could walk up.
It's like you
anybody. And Tony would sit down and he'd make him laugh.
The Hugh Hefner of radio. That's
Thank
what
you. Except I'm not selling my house for $20 million. In the meantime, don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And God bless America. It's a beautiful country. We'll see you next week here on the podcast. Good night, everybody.